Continuing on, we would hook our hose here, and after we drain our black, we follow it by doing the flush. Then we drain the gray, we wash out the hose, we close the gray, put our cap back on, we take our hose, and if we have water on site, we're going to rinse that hose right on down into the septic drain. We're going to take that hose, put the caps on it, and put it in a bag or something to put in the front tub or wherever you store it. I also want to point out the freshwater tank drain. The freshwater tank on this is behind the axle, and our drain is right here. So it's really easy to get to. Just turn it counterclockwise. There we go. And you'll see it drain. All right, we're going to go inside now. We have the cover over top of the fantastic fan. We have the white fan on top that has the exits on the side, so you can have a rainstorm and still be ventilating if you're using the bathroom. We have the solar panel, which is completely streamlined because the connections are down inside the trailer. Okay, we're going to come in here and take a look at the air conditioner control. You want to see the snowflake on when you turn the air conditioner on. There is only a mode switch and a temperature switch to do your setting, and the cool will come on with a snowflake. If you want just fan, you can have fan. If you want just dehumidifier, you can do that. Up above it, we have the Aldi system panel. And when you turn that on, we come on with Compact 3020, proudly made in Sweden. And it shows you what the temperature is inside. It shows that we're plugged in. You can see we're at a high temperature because we weren't in here for a while. And I just turned the AC on. Right now, this temperature on the Aldi system is at 75 for the thermostat. We want to get that down in the 50s so we don't have the heater and the air conditioner fighting each other. The next icon down would be your shower or your hot water. Hot water is on now. We can go regular standard water temperature, which comes up to about 155, or boosted, the hottest temperature. The reason you want the hottest temperature before you take a shower is so you have unlimited hot water. Same thing if you're washing dishes. Go ahead and hit that to get the hottest temperatures. Then I need to choose a power source. Am I going to run on the lightning bolt, which is electricity, on 1,000 or 2,000 watts? I can run 2,000 watts if I'm hooked to a 30 amp, but if I'm hooked in through a 20 amp circuit, like I would be at Dingman's Ferry and one of their lesser expensive sites, then I would not be able to use my electric at all on the hot water heater. I'd be able to run the air conditioner on 20 amps, but I would need to use propane to run my heat for the hot water. Now I'm going to go to service mode, and I show fan rotation, which means the combustion fan has come on, and it shows what the glycol temperature and the water temperature are. Now, if I don't have my bottle open, which I don't, it'll start up, it'll shut down, and it'll turn the little LED red here to let you know, hey, there's no propane. We won't wait for that. I'm going to go back to menu and shut it off. All the instructions on the Aldi system are in the book, and they're very detailed. I'm going to show that to you right now. One of the most important manuals is the Aldi manual. The Aldi manual is in Okay, so we have a picture of the glycol bottle. Just like under the hood of your car, you'd have an expansion tank. This also has an expansion tank. That expansion tank is right up in the corner there. You can see it through the wall in that cubby, and the level should be in above the minimum, and as it gets hotter, it'll rise. Okay, beautiful picture diagrams. You'll be able to know what to do in order to turn that heat on. All kinds of settings that you can do with it, a description of night automation, day automation, priority settings. More than I even know is in this book. I want to show you next the Nautilus 5. That's something that we print out for you. The Nautilus system has 16 pages, and it'll go over one by one how to use it, how to winterize, and very complete. I didn't realize it's cable TV connection. Does ours have that? Okay, here's the information on the solar. You can get an app for your phone to see what the solar is doing. You can also simply look at the tank monitor panel. When you press battery, if you see battery charge and you're not plugged into shore power, you can know that you are charging the battery from the sun. Normally, say when the sun is not out, you would see good when you press on the battery if you are boondocking. But when the sun's out, you're going to see charge. We got freshwater tank, 1/3, black, empty, gray, empty. You have the porch light, which is an amber light to keep from having the bugs come to it. You see I can turn that water pump light on or off from here. The red light goes on at both places. Got the accent lights and the sink light. Overhead I have another light that has 4 positions to make it nice and bright. Up here I have the indirect lighting, but I also have a 2-position switch on that light. As you see right now, we have it set it up as a bed. We can make it a couch by simply reversing the cushions. And you even have a place you can put your drink while you sit and watch television. Now, the way I like to do for setting up the table is we've got to leave both of those on one side. I'm going to flip up this cushion. I'm going to flip it in a way that it doesn't hit my curtain and take off the center section. And I have the very lightweight new table, same shape as the old, but 1/3 of the weight. And because these were not latched down, that flipped right up. So let me show you. Those latches can be up or down, it doesn't matter. But when they are pressed down, they do snap in so that table doesn't just pop up. If I want to get it up though, I press down on them to release. I bring it up to the second position. If they pop up, not a big deal. I set it on the rod, press it down into place. If it didn't pop up, I want it up so it doesn't cause the table to come loose when I have it full of food. I can slide this table either way. Makes it really nice when you have 3 people on the other side to give them extra room to get in and out. So if I have a skinny person on this side and normal people on the other, then I can move the table way over this direction or vice versa. This piece can be stored on the bed during the daytime, or you can put it in your car if it's really in the way. I want to work our way around in a clockwise fashion here. I'm going to show you underneath the sink next. This is a really special arrangement because they have a waterless trap that allows you to put really large items in this cupboard. The only thing that I need to warn you about is if you have heavy canned goods and you put them in there, when you come after going down the road and bouncing around, you're going to have things rolling out of here. So you need to think about putting Tupperware containers or something in there that maximize the use of the space and keep things from rolling around. Here would be our deep sink. They have a note here, attention, for your protection, the mixing valve is at the coldest setting. In order to adjust the temperature, please consult the owner's manual. The mixing valve has information in here on how to adjust it, and I'll show that to you right now. The mixing valve can be turned toward the plus to get it to the hottest setting. And if you don't like that, you can unscrew the cap. That's what these instructions are about. You unscrew the knob, take it past the stop, and turn it another turn or just a half a turn to get it to the temperature you want. The mixing valve is located underneath the bed. The bed had been screwed down. It is not now because I pulled the screws. We're going to carefully lift this. We don't want to rip off the Froley system. I'm going to show you the mixing valve is right here. Okay? We have already turned it to the hottest. Hey, this one didn't get set. I've turned it now to the hottest setting without removing the knob and adjusting it. Very easy. Take out the screw, lift up, go past the knob and the stop, and you'll have another full turn that you can do to heat it up. I recommend doing another half a turn. But for reasons of safety, they set it to the coldest setting. I turn it all the way up, and that's still not going to be hot enough for you, but you know how to do it now. Well, while we're looking in here, this is the back side of the Nautilus system. I'm going to shed a little bit more light in here. I don't know if that'll help or not, but we have the Aldi system. You have spare fuses here. If you ever lose your display on the Aldi system panel, there are 2 fuses here, and one of these 2 would have gone out, probably the one in the green holder. It's very easy to change, and the reason they have the fuses there is to protect the electronics. So if you get a power surge, a lightning strike, or drop your 7RV cord into water, a short will not damage your unit. It'll be protected by the fuse. Backside of the Nautilus system here, water pump right next to the heater. The arrangement here is really nice. Very pretty to look at for a technician. Not hard to work on either. You can lift this board completely out. Exhaust goes out the side there. Everything else is so well organized. So you want to be careful to get that board down all the way. We're going to flip this mattress over into place again. On the bed area here, I want to point out that we have conveniently located the inverter. So when you are wanting outlets, the outlets back here, you need to turn on the inverter. They will not operate, except the 12 volt will, but the other 2 will not operate unless you turn on your inverter. You've got the on-off switch for your backlighting. You've got the night lights, which a quick press gives you a night light. Pressing and holding gives you the bright light. We have one speaker here, one under the counter, and we've got the fresh air vent for the air conditioning, and it feels wonderful. Okay, I've got the Jensen TV right here. I can see it from the bed or from the couch, but not both at the same time. When you press that back, you want to be... All right, continuing on, the entertainment system is now condensed, but you do have the option of plugging in an HDMI cord and a USB to run a DVD player if you want. This would be the refrigerator fan. Refrigerator on this model has a nice size freezer compartment, full size tray, and it'll run on electric or propane or 12 volt. To turn that on, or when you turn that on, make sure you always have the fan on. No matter if you're cooling on propane or electric, it's important to have that circulation on the fins on the back, or you will not have a refrigerator that works. We press and hold to turn it on. We press and hold to turn it off. It's showing that it's going on electric because we're plugged in. If I wanted to, I could select a different mode. Now I'm on battery. Now I'm on propane, and it won't run on propane unless you have the tank open. It went back automatically to plug in because it wants to save your propane. To turn it off, we press and hold and turn the fan off, or leave the fan on and turn off the battery disconnect switch when you leave the camper. There's a travel lock at the bottom. We want to engage that before we drive so that nothing falls out of the fridge. Below the fridge, very nice sliding drawer, and below that, of course, we have the big cubby. On this side, I have one cabinet, one drawer. Below the cabinet, a 2-shelf cabinet, very nice storage. This would be my silverware drawer. The tray lifts out. A lot of storage room under there for saran wrap or cookbooks. This would be the normal size drawer. Power converter conveniently in the center here. 12 volt fuses on this side. All the circuit breakers clearly marked on the left. Sometimes the fan will run, sometimes it will not. It only needs to run when it's overheating. Underneath the bed, I do have a limited amount of storage. So it's a really nice compartment, a little harder to get to when you have the bedding in place. Beyond that section is where the batteries are located. Batteries are at the back for weight and balance purposes. Overhead, I have a really nice storage cubby there. I've got the plug-in for my microwave up in the top here, a nice upper cabinet, and this would be the other part of the backup camera that you asked to have us install. Beautiful camera. So it's plug and play, but it only works when you turn the lights on. It's not truly a backup camera, it's an observation camera. You can watch what's behind you as you're traveling. Very convenient. The power for this camera, for the camera part of it, is gotten behind the bed. So it comes in same place that the license plate light power is, and it's hooked in there. On the microwave, you notice they take the carousel and put it on top of the plate. And that would be important when you travel. You don't want that carousel, those little wheels, getting broken by the weight of this bouncing around on a trip. So take their lead and wrap it up in a towel or something before you travel. We have here the fantastic fan vent, and you chose to have us put a vent cover on it. I've had it open here to ventilate the trailer even with the air conditioner on, but it's important that you understand there is a lock on it. So if somebody locks it, which is probably not necessary with the cover, if they lock it and you go and try to crank it up, you might break that lock. So in this case, since it has cover over the fan, I would leave it unlocked. 3-speed reversible. You can leave it on when you bring it down. It has a micro switch to turn it off. In here, by contrast, would be a fan that has an open and closed position. And it can stay open all the time because, again, we have it covered. The air goes out the sides of the dome. You can hear it's noisier when it's closed. It's embossed in the top there, which is closed and open. This would be your toilet, and they give you a product that will make it smell better and help to break down the toilet tank, the contents of the toilet tank. Flush on the front, flow water, and then flush. Open the valve. Before you use it, you get water in the bowl, and after you use it, you empty it and let it flow and clean. Here would be the pull-down sink. The pull-down sink has a lot of area. It's not designed to wash your hair in. I guess you could do that with the faucet. You just can't dip it into the water. In any case, don't wait for it to drain. Just flip it up when you get tired, when you're through, because it has a place it'll run out here, and it has a real nice chrome-plated drain underneath. So yeah, use the sink, rinse it. Whatever water is in here is designed out to flow out the tube where it collects in here and right down the drain. We have backlighting, we have overhead lighting. We have light coming through the roof vent. On the top, I like to keep our bath towels. On the second shelf, we put the other toiletries in containers. You've got a GFI outlet right here. This is adjustable. You can adjust this up or down for your shower. The shower spray comes like straight out, but it's really designed to be a handheld shower. Either sit down or stand and use it that way.